Hello, welcome back. That was so creepy. I don't even know what to say at the start of these videos. Hi, I'm Ashley. Let me talk to you and tell you what's up. Tell you how it is. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you guys more about plants because they're one of my obsession and I can't talk too much about them in my opinion. So if you've checked out my channel before, you've seen that I've done a plant tour and a plant substitutions video where I talk about how you can make a room look like there's plants in it when there isn't because there's no light in the room to sustain life. And today I wanted to do another plant video about low light plants. I thought this was a really important video to make because it is one of the struggles I know that people have, that I've had, because even if you have windows in all your rooms, if the window isn't the size of the wall, there's going to be areas in your room where you're going to need low light plants. So in my case, I do have windows in every room in my house, but there's still corners in the rooms where I want plants, but certain plants will not survive. They will not make it out alive. So I wanted to share with you the low light plants that I found that work really well for me and that are relatively easy to take care of. There's one that is dying and I don't know why, but I'll still share it because I'm all about honesty and real life. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and get started. I'm not going to count them. I have a few. You'll find out how many by the end. Okay, first one I want to talk to you guys about is the mother-in-law's tongue. This one I'm sure you've heard of and seen before, but it's a really great plant because you literally don't have to do anything and it will treat you very nicely. So this guy, you only want to water well, it depends on the climate that you live in, but for me, I only water it like once a month. This is a desert plant, so you really want the soil to dry out completely and then just like drown it in water. Okay, well, don't drown it, but you really want to give it a good dose of water because, let me explain. Let me give you some science here. When the plant notices that there's no water around, it'll go out and grow out its roots and spread out in search of water, which is really good for the plant. And then when you water it, you don't want to just give it a little tease of water. You want to water it so it gets that sustenance or whatever, and then you stop watering it for a long time, so again the roots will grow out in search of water, and then you douse it again. That's what I've been taught anyway, so that's what you do with these guys. If you overwater them, they will turn gooey and fall and just crumple up into goo. So yeah, don't let that happen. What I found is water it less than you think you should, and then you'll get in a good rhythm with it because it's so easy to overwater these guys. The other thing is, yes, they can survive in no light, but they won't grow. So if you want them to grow big, you're gonna want to put them in a room with lots of light, but you can buy them big and then put them in the corner with no light, right? So yeah, there's that one. And then on the same note, there's the snake plant, which these two get mixed up in names, which I generally just call them both snake plants, but there's a difference in the color or whatever and in their scientific name, but I didn't look that up because I don't care that much. But yeah, this is a snake plant. It's the same style of plant, just different coloring, and you treat it the same way. Don't water it too often. Give it light if you want it to grow. Simple. So the next one is this awesome little palm plant here. This is a Parlor palm. I have two of these in my house because they're so awesome. They aren't super low light, but they're low light. So you can't put them in the same corner that you'd put a snake plant, but they'll do really well in medium to low light rooms, and I really like the tropical feel that they give. These guys I water once a week. Yeah, so I water this guy once a week. You just check the soil and with your finger, and if an inch down it is dry, then you want to give it some water. Really don't want to overwater these guys because if there's water just sitting in the bottom of the pot, you'll get root rot, which will kill your plant. Again, this is just a trial and error thing. You'll learn how to water your plants well enough that they won't die. And I also found that it's less water than you think because you're not filling this up with water, right? You're only putting enough water that the soil gets moist, which isn't really that much water. Yeah, and you'll know that this guy is nice and happy when you see these new shoots. I don't know if you can see that. You see these new shoots coming up where the branch is about to open up. Yeah, I love these guys. They're super easy, versatile. The next one is a Pothos. This is also a very common plant because they're so easy. These guys, just like the palm there, they do need some light. If you put these guys in the corner of a room that already has low light, they're not going to be too happy about it. So they need some light, but again, they are a good, really good low light plant. The thing I also love about these guys is when you do give them light, they will just like grow, like they'll keep going, and they're really fun to propagate. They're one of the easiest plants to propagate, so you can just like multiply this guy so easy. Yeah, and same watering as the palm. When an inch deep is dry, that's when you water them. Yeah, love these guys. The next one is this Vittonia. I don't know how to say these words. Why do I try? Vittonia. This guy is really cool. I don't know if he's technically variegated or if it's just like the veins on him are white. This guy is awesome because he's not a super common plant, so it's nice to have variety of really common houseplants and like kind of cooler different ones. And this guy can literally go anywhere. Like, he's like a snake plant. He can go anywhere and he's fine, which is quite rare for plants because so often you hear, here's this huge list of low light plants, put them wherever you want. But in reality, no, like a lot of them will die in low light. They can just handle the lower end of light, but they are not good in like low light. Like the Pothos, low light plant, will die in too low of light. This guy you can put anywhere and he's great. So like, love him. He's not growing too much just because plants do need light to grow. So like, keep that in mind. But I like that he's small and cute. Put him on like, well, normally I keep him up here if you didn't ever notice in my videos, but I had to take him down for this video to show you guys. Yeah, love this one. Next one, this is one of my favorites, is a ZZ plant. So you can see here. If any of you are wondering, these plant pots are from IKEA and they're so rad. Like, I love bamboo and squares, I guess. Yeah, these are great plant pots. And water will drain out of them if you overwater it, so it's a good signal that you're watering too much. Okay, so ZZ plant. I love the like symmetry on the branches on these guys. Super awesome. They can handle low light just like snake plants. These guys really, you really don't want to overwater. Like, they're very sensitive to overwatering. So treat them like a snake plant and water them like less than you think you should. Yeah, these guys are great for like bathrooms or whatever. I don't know. They're really good for low light. Like, they can go in a corner with no light and be fine. Yeah. The next one is this very sad Calathea, C-A-L-A-T-H-E-A. Calathea. Calathea? I don't know. Why do I keep trying? This one's really cool because it has a mixture of like light green and dark green stripes on the leaves. He is so finicky. Like, he is a low light plant. Like, legitimate low light plant can handle low light, which again sounds obvious, but like, people exaggerate what are low light plants and what aren't. This guy can handle low light, but he's really sensitive about humidity, I think it is. So he's like dying out a lot, but I've had him for like almost a year and he's just always been like this. Well, like, I didn't buy him like this, but he started dying like this, but it's just like keeps putting out new leaves, but then like at the same time leaves are dying. So like, I'm keeping it alive, but barely. If you can figure out the humidity on this guy, it is really cool. It's just harder. He's harder to keep alive. One more left. So the last one is just the cutest little ivy plant that I got here. I just really love ivy plants. I don't know what it is. I think I'm just really into like the really dark greens. He can handle low light, but not as low as snake plants. I should almost like rank these on like what can handle the lowest light. Maybe I should do that. So the ivy plant does need some light, but it can handle the lower end of light and it will still grow a little bit. I had a different one of these previously and it died because I left it in the plant pot that it came in and all the water would just like rush out and wouldn't actually get soaked up by the soil. So I think he, what's the opposite of drowned? He was parched. He died of parchment, not parchment paper, but of being thirsty. Words are hard. So anyways, this guy went in a pot and now he's doing great. Yeah, so that's the last one. Okay, so just to summarize, some of these plants can handle really low light. They still need light, keep in mind, but can handle really low light, and some of these plants can handle low light but not so low light. So I'm gonna list them off real quick, the two different groups. So the really low light plants are the snake plant, the mother-in-law tongue, the ZZ plant, the Calathea, and the Vittonia. Those 5 can handle really low light. And then the 3 that can handle low light but still need a bit more of the higher end of low light, if that makes sense, are the pothos, the palm, and the ivy. So I find that no one really talks about the high and low end of low light, and then you end up like killing plants. So I wanted to make that a bit more clear for you guys so you know where you can and can't put plants in your house. So I hope this video was really helpful for you guys. If you do have a room that has 0 light in it, like doesn't have a window, I have, like I said at the beginning of this video, I've made a video about how to keep the aesthetic, like the earthy planty aesthetic in a room without actually having live plants in it. Just some tips on that, so go check that one out. If you want to see all the plants that I have in my house, check out my plant tour. Yeah, and if you like this video, like the video. If you really like the video, subscribe down below. And check out my channel and Embers and Ash for all the other stuff that I've put out and that I'm going to be putting out. Oh, that was a mouthful. Yeah, so thanks for hanging out with me and talking about plants, one of my favorite topics. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Looking, picking when I really get to clicking, but I'm looking for a sister to revive and win a kiss. If you want time.